You doing from wherever you're catching me from? Of course, this is Luzay Andrew Anderson, and we are again back. This is the 8th month, 2026, and of course, it is the fifth year of the 8th month. So I want to start by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Most of the times when I come to, first of all, the first thing we have to do is to make sure that yeah, we've gotten sound and everything is moving on perfectly. So uh, I'm checking to see that everything is really nice. Yeah, I'm checking to see that our sound is good. Still again, come. Yeah, the sound is nice. So what's how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night to some of you. It doesn't matter where you're watching and from. Still again, I came to talk about something that really that I've been talking about, but this time around, of course, we are going to be going into details about it. Yeah, most of the times when we come to, I always want to get some of the reactions, from the former. I've been getting a lot of WhatsApp, and most of the people are getting inspired, which is a beautiful thing, lovely thing. Yeah, I think one of the messages I got, when was it? Yeah, we got a text and someone was saying, "Good information, sir." That was really beautiful. So now I want to see if on social media we are there. But today's topic, what we're going to be talking about, of course, you're watching everyone, you're watching everything except yourself. You're watching everyone, you're watching everything except yourself. Basically, you're running away from yourself. You wake up very early in the morning and then you're scrolling on your phone since morning. You scroll, you watch other people progress, and for you, you're in the same position for the next, I don't know how many days. Sometimes we think there's a lot of time, but when you count days, the days, if you count seconds, of course, the seconds become hours, then the hours become days, then the days end up becoming weeks. Before you know it, the weeks are turning into months. Before you know it, the weeks which were just turning into months, now they are years. So you wake up very early in the morning. The first thing you do is to get your phone, maybe to get your computer, and you're scrolling to watch other people build their dreams. Yeah. You watch them build their dreams. You watch them trying to hustle out their life. And for you, you just don't want to come out, to do basically what you want. And it really hurts. I've been talking about it, but in a different way. I've been telling people you should be making videos, make videos, do your posts. We've talked about it in really different ways, but today I wanted to make it a little bit more simpler. You know, you imagine if you're to count the hours you've spent on your phone, consuming content of other people, and you're not there building yourself. You're basically a consumer and you're not producing. So, if you could give me time, maybe I take you through. It is very easy. As you consume, at least try to create. There are people you follow and you know basically everything they've done. You know what they did yesterday. You know basically what they ate, the last video they did, and what they talked about. But you're not putting in time to also be among the creators because we accept it, we believe it or not believe it. One thing we have to note is that we have become now big consumers of different content. And what really hurts me the most is that we consume a lot of junk, things that don't add value. I've been talking about that. And I told myself that at least if I told myself that in the year 2026, I'm going to come and I'm going to be empowering other people and I'm going to be talking about my experiences. When I woke up very early in the morning when I was taking Tyler to school, As I was coming up, I thought about it and I'm like, why is it that people waste a lot of time, watching other people, and they have opinions about everything, but their opinions, they don't come out to share them. That's why most of the people would watch minus maybe commenting, because they just want to consume. They don't want to get involved. You're supposed to be involved. That's why I remember one politician was saying that if you don't get involved in the politics of your country, of course, fools will come and they will get involved. Before you know it, then the fools will be the ones leading you. So you basically have to get involved, because one thing I'm sure of, everyone has an opinion. You have something to say about anything, so why not come out and talk about maybe your hobbies. But the only thing you do, you wake up very early in the morning and you're consuming, you're watching other people progress. You watch them the first year, the second year. I had a friend and she was telling me she can watch, she gave me names of people she watches, people that don't really even add value to her. So it is very important, maybe as the new week is going to be starting, maybe you tell yourself, you're like, okay, I'm going to be consuming a lot, but this time around, I'm also going to start being a creator, because everyone has an opinion about something. So why is it that, you have to watch them and they don't watch you? So that's why I told myself, you imagine you've woken up, you'll be watching different people, people building their dreams, people working. And for you, what is it that you do? You're more of a consumer than a producer. Also, do something with your life, you know, be like, okay, whatever people are going to say, I'm going to react about it, I'm going to talk about it. You think about it, because the more you consume, that is basically expenditure, because the more you consume, then that means you're spending money. So if you're spending, but at the end of the day, you're not earning, still on the same platform, to me, I feel like it doesn't make sense. That's why I told myself, and I'm like, I'll keep talking to my friends, the people who watch me, because me, I've spent a lot of time locked in, and I'm like, no, the things I've learned, I feel like I want to share. Most of the people don't want to share, but at least if you watch 10 videos a day, or you're on phone, you're on your computer, you're on your laptop, maybe for 10 hours, why not spend maybe 10 minutes? And then you also do something, and you're like, whoever watches, whoever comments, I'll also go watch and I comment. Because before you know it, the couple of seconds you take, watching others, as I told you, the seconds will turn into hours. Before you know it, the hours will turn into days, and then the days will turn into weeks. Before you know it, you've wasted a lot of years, watching other people do their thing, and for you, you're stagnant. You're not doing anything with your life. Do something, because we like it or not, right now, people are spending a lot of time on screens than they spend with their fellow humans. So that means if we are spending a lot of time globally, not only in Africa, but also in Asia, in America, in wherever, people are consuming, people are watching videos, people are reading. So in that big market, why is it that you also don't want to get involved? Be at least among the 1% that also is watched. Think about it. Think about it. At least don't be more, because the more you're going to consume, years later, as I told you, the seconds, the minutes you keep watching, and you're on TikTok, you're watching other people, do their podcasts, and then they are having cameras, they are trying to do something with their lives. But for you, what is it you do? For you, you're there, you're just consuming. You're just consuming. You don't add, you don't give your ideas. Because one thing I believe in, everyone is talented at a given thing, or everyone is knowledgeable at a given thing, or everyone at least has a hobby. So maybe share that. Though I keep telling you, even if you want to share, at least be intentional. I've seen people in social media, talk about things, and they are just all over the place. That's why it is called specialization. That's why it's called a niche, At least If you love cooking, maybe do that, and then we'll come and also watch you cook. Because why is it that you spend money, go buy data, you know, you make those telecom companies rich, and then these other people you keep watching, you make them richer and you're becoming poorer. Why? Because for you, the only thing you know how to do is to watch others, and then you just talk about the opinion. You should also do the same, because as I told you, right now in this market we are in, where people are using they're in front of a screen so a lot, they are scrolling like this. Why is it that you're watching others and they are not watching you? At least contribute something. That's why I told myself, whoever comes here, they comment, I see them, follow, then I'm going to follow them, and I'm also going to comment, and I'm also going to watch their content. Let it be a two-way traffic. Why is it a one-way traffic? You imagine, time check, East African time, of course it is 7:46, and then you are watching me, which is a beautiful thing that I love. But at least I'm adding an impact to you. At least I'm adding value to you. But now you're going to spend the rest of the day watching other people build their dreams, and for you not adding value to yourself. I don't think really it makes that sense. And then you reach a time when you're broke, and none of the people you've been watching can even help you in any way, because you don't contribute. You basically want to be insignificant. Yeah, it's like you're among the many. Be among the producers also, because you cannot tell me you can fail to get a phone, because if you can watch others, that means you can also do a video. So you cannot share anything. I keep telling my friends, you imagine if you love eating, if you love playing soccer, if you love sleeping, and then someone comes and then they're like, you know what, we are going to pay you just to do what you want. What is it that you lose? Because you keep watching other people, and you're watching them and you're seeing them progress, and for you can do nothing. That's why we were having a title, Watching Everyone Except Yourself. You basically have an opinion to everything except yourself. So maybe for the year, I know the year is going, but what if you also be like, I'm also going to start contributing? For the people who watch me here, I'm promising you, you subscribe and then you comment, you watch, guess what? I will come and I do the same, because basically I'll be having something to learn from you. As you learn something from me, at least also let me learn something from you. So you cannot tell me the whole week, the whole month, you cannot produce even a 10 minutes video. You cannot produce a TikTok video. Really, why? As you watch others and you have your opinion, but for you, you don't want to produce. So basically you're spending and you're not earning. You've watched everyone. Each time you wake up, you have to make sure that person, whenever they produce that video, you have to go and you have to watch the whole of it. You watch the entire video basically. And that is data gone. And what is it that is adding value on you? Zero impact. Why do you really want to do it like that? Then a couple of years later, you're going to be buying from these people and you'll be stuck, and none of the people you've been watching who can save you out or who can bail you out, neither are you even getting knowledge from them. At least if you're watching and you're spending your data, at least learn something from them. You're watching everyone. Because right now, I would say globally, many people globally, almost 80% of the people who have, screens or smartphones or tabs, they are watching something. So basically, we have become more of consumers. And what percentage is producing? It is a little percentage. And the consumers are so many. So why don't you stand out and be among the 1% which produces? Whether they watch, whether they don't watch, and what the people's opinion is, that, just don't mind it. Just don't mind it. You're watching everyone except yourself. When I started spending a lot of time alone, I started watching myself too. That's why most of the times I tell you, we are living in the world which is like a movie. So most of us are actors, but we never get out of the movie and we also be the viewers and we see what is really going on. Me, I've been seeing that happen. I told you I was in there I logged in for 3 years. I be observing and I see everything going around me. So as I notice myself that I'm watching a lot of other people, so why is it that they also don't watch me? Let me also be among the 1% of the people that they watch. Because at the end of the day, just like how I told you, what if you do that something you love so much and you're getting paid for it? That means you will do it because basically you're going to lose nothing. So as it is this morning, I don't know whether it is morning or evening or good night, wherever you are, but at least be among the 1%. You can talk about anything. Yeah, talk about anything because you're passionate about something. You're having an opinion about something, then record it, let other people watch it. Yeah, so that you're not just a consumer. Then you're going to spend the rest of the day. And I thank the creator that I've made this video in the morning. That, okay, at least for my friends who I want to add impact to, at least they would watch and then they would think about it and they're like, okay, I'm going to start today as I'm going to watch all these other people build their lives. What is it that I'm going to be doing for myself? Because everyone has something. Maybe they sell. Maybe you have something you sell. Maybe you have something you love. Maybe you have something you have interest in. Concentrate on that. But at least don't just be a consumer and you're not a producer. You're basically there watching all these other people, but for you, no one is watching you, neither you giving out your opinion. That's why I come and I talk about the things, basically things that I love. I will not come and I'm talking about things that I don't have any interest in. I talk about things that I love. Yeah, of course, there is that thing, making money out of it. Let me tell you, do you know what it means, waking up early morning and people watch you sleeping and people enjoy just watching you sleep and then you get paid just sleeping. I told people that, YouTube is it is like the second search engine after Google. And I know in a few years, YouTube will surpass even Google because Google basically comes with only words and photos. And when it comes to YouTube or any other platform like TikTok, you get to see people demonstrate the things, you're searching about. Everything you can think about, there is someone out there doing it. Yesterday, I was here and I wanted to use my phone to be my second camera. And guess what? There was someone who did a video about it. And I learned how to do it. Now I can do it. So just don't be much of a consumer, because the reason why I keep coming and talking about things that are inspirational, it's not like I'm a motivational speaker, but because I feel like I want to add value to someone who watches. Why is it that I want to manipulate them and I'm going to come here, talk about girls, and we are not adding value? I don't see that really work for me. Maybe I've been there for a long time. Maybe I've been producing, and the things I've been watching, maybe they weren't adding value, and now I feel like I have to add value to someone, because there are very many things, we can talk about. We can do interviews, we can, do a lot of other things, but I'm like, no, it will be really bad. It is manipulative, very, very manipulative for people to watch you, but you're not adding value to them. Guys, think about it seriously. You watch things, they don't add any value to you, but you keep watching and spending your money. That's why I was like, I want to build a community of people, we support each other. AI now is all over. People are so lonely. They need people to even talk to. I hear there are even some application where people just want to talk to someone. That's why there are a lot of dating sites. People are no longer interacting like how it used to be. People are in front of screens, they're in front of their phones, and each time they are scrolling, they are just consuming but not adding any value to themselves. Because on these platforms, you can by the way, everything we do in life, it either adds value to us or takes away. So most of the people want to be entertained. You wake up very early in the morning and the only thing you want is maybe to get data to watch others and producing. That's why I want people to watch when they get something, they benefit something out of it. That's why I was like, we build a community. Guys, I want us to build a community that even when I'm talking right now, that's why I put my number there, by the way, on the screen. That's my WhatsApp number. The reason why I put it up there is that at least someone who watches me, they can still again go ahead and WhatsApp me and talk about different things. I told you initially, the people that are around us and our brothers and sisters and relatives, most of the time, they're the people who don't believe in us. And the people who don't know us, people we've never met, will believe in us more than them. That's why most of your relatives and your friends will not support you at anything. They will not support you at anything. And the people you don't know will definitely support you. So why would you really? You're watching everyone except yourself. And you're supposed to be a reflection of you. Basically, before you can watch everyone, first watch yourself. First watch yourself, and then you can watch everyone. People have opinion about everything, but they don't have an opinion about themselves. So imagine the day has just started, and then you're going to scroll the entire day. I told you, the seconds, they are just seconds, but those seconds turn into minutes. Those minutes turn into hours. Those hours turn into days, weeks, and again months. And then before you know it, years. And what is it you've added to yourself as an individual? But you've been watching the rest of other people. That's why I told myself, I'm not watching anything. As long as it doesn't add any value to me, I'm not watching it. I started being intentional, and I'm like, I'm supposed to do everything if I know it adds value to me. That's what basically you're supposed to do with yourself, I'm telling you. That's what you're supposed to do. So at least be like, today early morning when I woke up, I watched BCM, and at least I got some information. Then start thinking about it. Most of the times I tell my friend, it's not about doing something immediately. Sometimes it is you getting the knowledge. As long as you think about it, that's the most important thing. Watch things that add value to yourself, man. You're going to scroll the entire day watching other people who don't even add any value to you. And you're busy consuming, and you're consuming junk. Things that don't add any value to you. You're watching comedy, you're getting entertained, minus, having achieved anything. That's why I had a friend whom I told, and I told him that, what is it that we are celebrating? If you wake up very early in the morning and every day you're drinking and entertaining yourself, you only do that when you're celebrating something. But you're drinking and you're scrolling and you're getting entertained and you're not celebrating anything, you're broke. And even if you're not broke, at least get means of how to earn a little bit. At least even if things are not going right, at least be hopeful. Be like, I have a plan, but you don't have a plan, you don't have next, and you're there being entertained and enjoying life and then hanging out with friends. Add value to yourself. That's why I told myself, 2026, I want people who add value to me. If they don't add value to me, good. Even if you're close friends. So instead of watching all the videos you're going to see, you're watching everyone except yourself. Watch yourself too. Don't be more of a consumer. At least be also one of the people who produce. As I told you, most of the people are like, how am I going to start? Yeah, we give excuses to ourselves, yeah? That, I don't have a good phone. When I get a good phone, but at the end of the day, on that same phone you're watching other people. When you look at that good phone that you want, you keep bringing up excuses. When you have the phone, maybe now I don't have a laptop. When you get a laptop, maybe the place where I stay is not really that cool. Who cares about the coolness of your place where you stay? No one minds. No one cares. The only thing is, are you producing something? That's why everyone, I'll keep telling you, I want everyone who comes on this platform, yeah, we add value. At least each time you watch a video, you get inspired. Fine, I'm also not yet there yet. I'm not there yet, but at least I've been so observant, and I've been locked in for a while to notice some of these things, and some of these things are being intentional. You imagine how many people really right now are on their phones or their laptops or their computers. They are watching someone. They are watching someone either progress. They are watching maybe comedy. They are watching maybe to be entertained. But at the end of the day, they are spending minus earning. So be like, no, each time I watch someone, they have to watch me, because you have even the so-called celebrities. You imagine, now you've woken up, you're going to watch all these movies. The movies you watch, basically, these people working. When people go into sports, yeah, for some reasons, by the way, that's why I don't like sports. If I'm not being involved, I don't want to watch. That's why I don't watch football. I'm not good at Premier League. I'm not good at World Cup. I'm not good at all those things because these guys are in the field making a lot of money. And for you, they are supporting guys making money. You get home, you get on your laptop, you get on your phone, you're supporting other people. They're making money. But at the end of the day, you're making none and you're not adding value to yourself. I'd rather watch a video of 1 hour if it adds value to me. If it's going to teach me how, if it's going to teach me about finance, if it's going to teach me about discipline, if it's going to teach me, at least let it teach you something. Then you know that, yeah, I've not just wasted my data. That's why I'll keep talking about these things. And I just don't care who watches, yeah? I just don't care. I'm like, the people who need the information. I told you and I will keep reminding you, time is the most just asset that all of us have the same. Right now, what I'm doing with my time is I'm producing something. I'm talking to someone. I'm adding value to someone. And what is it that you're doing in return? At least you're learning something. That is cool. But if you're just getting entertained and you're not basically benefiting anything, why would you really waste your time like that? It is really unfair. I'm not telling you to leave again. No. You're supposed to stay here. You learn something. You're supposed to say you're not supposed to leave. You're supposed to stay to learn something. So it's very important. You're busy watching everyone else except yourself. Isn't it really concerning? At least, even if you do a video and it has 10 views, at least there are 10 people who watched. But what is it that you do that people watch? There are people, because now people in diaspora want to be entertained and they are so stressed, and when they have free time they just want to be entertained. But really, even for the people who do videos, what me, I don't watch videos just anyhow. I watch things that will add value to me. Why would I watch an astronaut go to the moon if I know I'm not going to wake up one day and I'm going to buy land at the moon? I'm not seeing myself there. So why waste my time on that? So it is very important, my guys. It is very important. At least don't be among the consumers, the billions and billions of consumers. Be at least 1% of the producers. And just don't mind what people will say. Me, I don't mind. When I come here, I just don't mind what everyone says. But at least I know, given the fact that there are few people who have watched my video, but at least I've added something to them. But all of us can watch the same thing. All of us can see the same thing. All of us can read the same thing. All of us can go through the same experiences. But what we learn out of it depends. So it is up to you to be like, okay, I've seen this. What am I learning out of it? Because you imagine, if you're watching Premier League, whether it is Arsenal and Man U, and you're watching them, those guys are being paid. At least they're involved. So those who are involved are getting paid. And for you, you are a viewer, you are just a consumer, and you're watching people make millions and millions of money. And then there are people who go an extra mile and they know even how much these people earn, how much they earn a week, their girlfriends, their wives, their cars, and you know all that. But does it add any value to you? Really, if you have all this knowledge with you, does it really add something? Because now you know them, you know where they stay, you know their cars, you know their wives, how much they get paid a month, how much, their assets they're having. But is it really is it really adding something? I told myself that I'm being intentional. You should also learn being intentional, guys. I don't know if you understand the word intentional each time I talk about it. Each time I come here and I talk about intention, I hope you guys get it. Do something knowing what basically you're going to benefit out of it. Be like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Me, I don't care how many people who watch, but when I get good text, I got a very good text from someone. I was like, I really, really like what you do. I really, really like. At least let me be a reason someone is doing something that is going to be impactful to themselves as individuals. Let me be the reason that, someone did something nice about themselves, and then they're like, you know what? When you did this video, I did this, and you basically inspired me. I get a lot of that. So don't be among the billions of consumers and you're not a producer. You look at it, you go to a cinema, then you're consuming. Then you go at the market, you're consuming. You get to your phone, you're consuming. And each time, as I told you, each time you're consuming, you're basically spending. So you're spending too much money every angle where you go at, because we have a lot of bills to pay. But still, again, we are not putting ourselves out there. We are not putting ourselves out there, because you imagine, one day I thought of it and I felt really angry. I woke up and I went to a toilet, and when I went to a toilet, when I flushed, I noticed that was a bill. When I switch on my computer, when I switch on my light, that is also a bill. You go to a toilet to clean yourself up, that is a bill. To entertain yourself, that is a bill. Even to get a girlfriend, that's still a bill. So why am I earning? Because that means as long as I'm spending everywhere, even in my normal life, at least let me also have some streams of income. You get? But why is it that you would support people who don't even know you, whom you will never meet, and they don't add any value to you, but every day you follow them and you listen to basically what they have to say? They sit down and they talk a lot of nonsense, and you're there also consuming, but you're not really also producing. This thing has to be a two-way traffic, yeah? Watch someone, support them, but at the same time also do the same. They also support you, because even when you get in trouble, these people will not, they will not be there for you. They will not support you. So don't be, because the title was, you are watching everyone except yourself. You scroll. I told you that each time you keep scrolling on your phone, seconds turn into minutes. Minutes will turn into hours. Hours will turn into days. Days will turn into a week. A week will turn into a month. A month will turn into a year. Then at the end of the year, you'll be like, what is it that I've done with myself? And basically, you've done totally nothing, but you know everything about everyone. Isn't it really concerning? You know everything about everyone. And you've been there. You see these people build themselves. And for you, you just seated. And at the end of the year, you're like, what is it I've really done with my life? And I'm telling you the truth. You will look at it and you'll be so observant, and you will notice basically you've done nothing with your life. Nothing with your life. Me, I don't care how much money maybe I'll give to my son and how, supportive maybe I will be. But I know if I've passed on that knowledge, most of the people say you have to leave something for your kids. But if you prepare them to survive the country, then that is the best thing you've done for them. Yeah? That is the best thing you would have done for them. Chuck Official. Chuck Official, what's up? How you doing? Where are you watching and from? Because now I want to support the people who support me. If someone doesn't support you, then why do you support them? Why do you have to know everything about everyone and you basically don't even watch yourself? You don't even watch yourself. Chuck Official, what's up? I'm really happy you're the first one to comment. So at the end of the day, watch things that add value to yourself, Watch people whom at least if you're going to if you're okay to spend your data, if you're okay to spend a lot of time scrolling, at least watch things that add value to you. Learn finance, learn a skill, learn something. But you're just there. And at the end of the day, these people would have done a lot with their lives. And what is it that you've done with your life? Totally nothing. Totally nothing. It is really unfair. That's why I told myself, at least, even if not a lot of people watch me, but at least let me be the reason someone will do something because of me. Let me be inspirational. Let me add value to them. That's why I put my WhatsApp number down there. It is intentional. It is not by mistake. Yes, of course, he's saying I'm doing great. Of course, about is the code. Let me see. Okay, let me go here to see this message properly. Yes, I'm doing great, fam. Abdabi, yeah, Abdabi is the code. How is Abdabi doing? Yeah, at least be like Chuck Official. At the end of the day, you watch something and be inspired. Because now, what? Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, you imagine every family right now globally, yeah, out of 100% people globally, at least on an average, at least 80% of those people have a given screen, yeah, have a given screen at their home. They have a screen. They either have a TV, maybe they have a laptop, maybe they have a phone. So you imagine that market is so huge that people are willing to watch basically anything. Yeah, Christine Kagasha. Christine Kagasha, what's up? Live from Norway. How is Norway doing, Kagasha? Kagasha is a beautiful name. Christine Kagasha. I can tell she's a very beautiful, cute girl, yeah, just by the name Kagasha. Yeah. So at the end of the day, at least be like, okay, each time I consume this kind of content, then I'm also going to either contribute or I'm also going to react, or maybe, but at least be involved. Be involved. Do you know what it means? Like you're in a family and you're so insignificant that your contribution means totally nothing. You're as good as dead. I keep telling you guys, yeah. Track officio is saying, I feel like, yeah, track officio is saying that I feel like doing what you are doing. And it is very easy as long as you have a phone with you. There is nothing special, man. There is totally nothing special. Totally nothing special. Just get in front of the camera, talk about anything you want. Talk about anything you want. Because as I told you, everyone has a hobby. Everyone has something they love. Everyone has something they like. Everyone has some interest. So why is it that you're just a consumer, you're consuming and you're not producing? Because if each family has a screen, at least let me tell you, there is nothing. Think about anything and you go into either you go to YouTube or you go to TikTok or you go on Google and search, you will notice that there is nothing new people are doing. Totally nothing. There is nothing. So why is it that for you, you just want to, because just like how I told you, it is like a family where you're insignificant. It's like you don't matter. So now the fools will come and talk to you because you're not able, you as a bright person, you're not able to come out and talk. You know what is going to happen? The fools are going to come and talk. And you will have to listen because you're not able to bring out yourself to talk. As simple as that. Yeah, Christian Kagasha. Of course, we are in summer. Wow. Yeah, that is beautiful. Kagasha. Of course, all the way from Norway. Blessings, Kagasha. So you imagine, when you don't get involved in something, you know what happens? The fools will do. The fools will do. It's like, I got that when one of the people in politics was like, if you don't get involved in your politics and then you elect and choose the right leaders, then guess what is going to happen? The fools are going to stand up and the fools will be involved. And guess what? We are going to be laid by the fools because the bright people are not able to come out. So now it is the same thing. Because you, the bright ones, you're there, but you feel like, you don't want to get involved. Me, I told one of my friends that if you buy data, yeah, if you buy data for, let me say 10,000, yeah, or you buy data of $100, you buy that data, you keep, being entertained, but you're not earning anything out of your data. Me, I make sure if I buy data and I'm going to be entertained, I have to make sure the same internet that I have bought, it is still the same internet that is going to pay for my next internet. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah? You get my point. Chuck Officio is saying, thank you, Anderson. I feel like inspired, and trust me, days of procrastination are over. Yeah, because most of the time, this is what happens. Yeah? Sometimes we are like, I will start. When I get time, I will start. And guess what? Before you know it, the year is ending. And time gone does not come back. If time is gone, it is gone. We are moving in front and we're not coming backwards. So if you wanted to do something, let me say, if you wanted to do something yesterday and you postponed it, the more you keep postponing, that time is not coming back. It is not coming back. And I'm telling you, when you reach your 30s, yeah? I don't know how many of you guys here are in your 30s. If you reach your 30s, that's when it becomes a little bit lonely. The more we grow, the more lonely we tend to become, because we get to lose a lot of friends the more we grow. So when we are younger, we have a lot of friends. Yeah. When we are younger, we have a lot of friends. But the more we keep growing, so the more we grow now, when we reach in our 30s, now we start being observant. Because now we don't have a lot of people around us. So now we basically know what we are doing. We basically know what we are doing. Now we have that silence has come in. So when that silence comes, then some sense starts coming in our brains. I think that's what happened to me because I'm in my 30s. So some sense started coming into me. So now I'm observing and I look and I'm like, I think this one is not wrong. This one is not right. That's when it happens. But it will be, but because me, I always tell people, of course, it's never late. Yeah. It is never late. You can start at any time. But the more you postpone, and I'm like, I will do that later. I will do that. Before you know it, it's a year and it is ending. And you just get surprised of time. Have you ever been there and you get surprised of time? You're like, whoa, the year is going to end. It is gone. It is gone. The year is gone. And what is it you've been doing? You've been scrolling, watching other people and not watching yourself. Yeah. Michael, yeah, Michael Toba. Michael Toba, what's up? How you doing? Wagwan, big bro. Wagwan, how you doing? Toba, what's up? How you doing? So at the end of the day, that's why most of the times we get surprised. Alpha Chickens, I saw your video and you did a good job. You did what I told you. You're supposed to hold your phone horizontal. I watched your video and I watched the whole of it, by the way. You hold the phone horizontal, not vertical. So at the end of the day, you will be surprised on how time really flies. You'll be like, oh my goodness. And it is gone. And time gone. Time just keeps going. Yeah, what to do with it, it is okay. It keeps going. And the more it goes, we are growing also at the same time. You'll be like, I'll get kids later. Maybe I will get that later. That's why I tell people to spend time with the people they love. Because before you know it, we are out of time. We are out of time. So man, let's not be more of consumers. Let's also be producers. When it comes to Alpha Chicken, he's doing some videos here and there. Though you told me you were supposed to come and we work on a lot of things, yeah? You didn't show up. The week is coming to an end. Yeah. So at the end of the day, guys, let's be more of, at least let's be 1% of the people. You imagine if every family, if 80% of families globally have a given screen that they watch something, but out of all those families, it is only like 0.1 people who are producing what we all watch. Can you imagine? Do you know how much money that market is having? Right now it is starting, but for the people who have come in a little early will benefit more. Yeah. Of course, Alpha Chicken, yeah, is saying something. He's saying, brother, you're a blessing, yeah? Yeah. You said you were supposed to come for those classes. You didn't come for those classes. So at the end of the day, guys, me now, immediately I took my son to school, then I came back and I felt like sharing this. I'm like, most of us are watching others except ourselves. We are watching others. And each time we are watching, we are spending. Me, the day I sat down and I noticed everything right now we do in our lives, we are spending money. Can you imagine just going to the toilet? When you flush and you use your toilet paper, that's a bill. When you sit in your chairs, this is a bill. When you switch on that power, call it electricity, that's a bill. Then you get to your phone, that's a bill. Then you want to take some drinking water, that's a bill. What is it we are having for free? Then food, everything, our kids, bill. But as we have all these bills, how many streams of income are we having? We are having one or two or none. And everything we are doing, we are basically spending. And this is intentional, guys. So at least be among the 1% of the people who are going to be producing something. Me, I decided to use English because I felt like, no, talking in the native language, that is being, so myopic. And I'm like, no. I would rather have people even abroad watch. People who understand the language. At least it's an international language that even a Kenyan, a Tanzanian, who speaks English would understand. Why do I have to limit myself? Really, why would I have to limit myself? If I have the option of not limiting myself, because at the end of the day, I lose nothing. Yes, the numbers will be big if I use the native language. Yes, very true. But at the end of the day, it will earn more when I get to the people that I want. So, guys, let's not be just consumers. Let's also be producers. Let's also be producers. We are busy watching everyone else, and we are not watching ourselves. Yeah? Let's also watch ourselves. You're having an opinion about everything, but you're not putting it out there. Nakajubi Justin, big up. Nakajubi Justin, what's up? How you doing? Where are you watching in from? Nakajubi Justin, where are you watching in from? So at the end of the day, man, that's why, for that given reason, that's why I don't have interest in football. Because you're watching people who make a lot of money, You watch movies, those people who did that movie, they are earning when you're watching them. Then you go ahead and then, you have that TV because now they are digital, they from analog to digital. Now even watching TV, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. So you're paying for this TV, but are you getting any value? Yes, you get entertained, but at least being entertained for 24 hours, before you know it, it's a whole year you've been entertained, but you're getting totally nothing out of it. At least watch content that adds value to you. At least watch something into cryptocurrency, watch that one. Watch something that will add value to you. Me, I'm intentional. I do whatever I do. I'm being intentional. Someone cannot just call me right now to go for a party if I know I'm not benefiting out of it. So as busy as you are watching other people, and each video that comes out, you're like, I'm supposed to be among the first people who is going to be watching. They don't know you, number one. If you're in trouble, none of them is going to help you. You cannot even communicate to them, but you know everything concerning them. You know everything. You know everything concerning them. Oh my goodness. That's why, by the way, let me tell you something. That's why the so-called celebrities, are now losing it globally. Because now people notice they were there following some people, but yet they can also be followed. So why is it that you follow others and they don't follow you? Isn't it concerning? Why is it that you're looking at them progress and, working out their lives, and you're watching them make money, and for you, you're there busy. You're there just paying. Each time I told you, each time you watch anything, each time you read anything, everything you see on the screen, there is someone getting paid. When are you getting paid? When are you getting paid? At least be like, if I use $10 to buy my internet, at least out of the $10, at least I'll get at least $11. It's making sense now. If you don't get money out of your data that you've bought, at least be motivated, at least learn something. Even being motivated, I would rather watch a video where I'm motivated. I cannot sleep minus being motivated. Every night, I have to make sure I learn something on the internet. I have to make sure I'm motivated. Right now, guys, I'll tell you, like right now, I think I'm at my worst. Yeah, I'm at my worst. Right now, no job. I'm not expecting anything. Food is getting out. Gas is getting out. The fridge is almost empty. I don't know what is next. But guess what? Each time I sleep, I have to first be motivated. So I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to get the next money, of course, to pay for my data. The food is getting out. Yes, I'm a single dad, dedicated single dad. I'm supposed to be here for everything. But I'm like, okay, I don't know how it is going to happen, but it will definitely happen. Can you imagine? Yeah. So that's why most of the time I tell you that I'm not a motivational speaker. No, I'm not a motivational speaker, because most of the times I'm talking to myself. But as I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to someone else. Let me tell you something. And I've always thought about it. And that's how I've always thought about it. And most of the people were like, that is wrong. Most of the people say you're not supposed to say out your dreams and the things you want to achieve to other people. That's what they say. They say don't share a lot before you make it. You want to start that business, don't tell anyone. Just do it, because people are so bad. They will do bad things to you so that that business doesn't happen. But let me tell you how these things work, yeah? This is how it works. When you think about something, yeah, that is number one tick. Now, if you think about it, then talk about it. Tell it to someone else. When you tell it to someone else, basically you start feeling like you're going to do it. You start feeling like you're going to make it, even minus you doing it. Let me say, you say, you know what, guys, I'm going to get a job. You first think about it. I think I'm going to get a job. I'm going to look for a job. When you think about it, then you tell your friend that, you know what, guys, I think I'm going to get a job. I'm going to go look for a job, and I'm going to get a job. And when I get a job, maybe I'm going to move out of my parents' house. So now, because you started by thinking about it, so you have owned it, thinking about it. Now, you talking about it, now you're basically owning it. You're like, I'm going to get a job. So your brain tells you that you're going to get a job. So now your brain is telling you you're going to get a job. So now, because you've told it to someone else, and now you're believing it, so you start moving towards it, even minus you knowing. You get the point? So before you know it, now, because you've told your friend and you don't want to disappoint them, now you're like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm looking for a job. So before you know it, because you're already having it in your head. Even if you're on social media and you see someone who is trying to be like, we are looking for employees, because you already have it and you already owned it and you already told your friend, then guess what is going to happen? It is going to be an impulse. You'll just go ask for that job. I'm telling you. Your friend already knows that you need a job. So when an opportunity comes, she or he will come and tell you, you know what, there's an opportunity here. Why? Because you shared. When you think about something and you don't talk about it, it stays with you. So now you've not put it in the universe for it to happen. Yeah? Christine Kagasha is saying, please send my greetings to my brother Rajab Kiravira. Okay, Rajab Kiravira. Please send my greetings to my brother Rajab Kiravira. Greetings to Rajab Kiravira. Yeah, I hope I pronounce it very well. Greetings, of course, Rajab Kiravira. Of course, from your sister, that is Christine Kagasha. Your sister has a beautiful name, Christine Kagasha. So at the end of the day, as most of the people used to say, that don't say something before it happens. To me, even when I was growing up, I felt like, no. I felt like I talk about anything. Me, I'm an open book. I don't have secrets. That's why I keep saying, me, I'm a single dad, dedicated single dad. I gave up with women. I feel like I have to first work on my life. I feel like I want to settle me so that I can afford me and my son before I can afford another human being or another girl. So I'm like, I'm not going to get in a relationship and I make someone's daughter suffer because of my brokenness. And then I'm promising them favors that, you know what, we will make it definitely. I'm like, no. So I talk about those things that in case something happens and someone sees me, is like, but man, you told us you're not going to date. Are you okay now? So because you've told it to someone, it sticks in your brain, yeah? It sticks in your brain. So you want to act a given way. You get the point? So you talk about it. Be like, you know what, guys? I will open up a business. So when you say it, now you start owning it. I'm going to open up a business. Yeah? Christine Kagasha, thank you so much. Yeah? Bless you together with Rajab Kiravira. Yeah? So at the end of the day, magic will happen. So don't keep quiet about your dreams. Yeah, if you want to get married, be like, guys, I want to get married. If there is any guy available, I want to get married. If you're tall and you're this feet tall and you have a job and maybe you have a house, you talk about the things you want. You get like, guys, I want to get married. Because when you keep quiet, we don't know whether you want to get married. Most of the men are there, they want to settle down with girls, And for you, you're there quiet. Talk about it. And then the right guy will come and be like, okay, you want to. That's why me, I love being intentional. I love being intentional. I cannot go in a relationship right now at my age, yeah. I cannot be in a relationship where I'm just wasting time, yeah, dating and then having sexual intercourse. I cannot do that. No, 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 no. I have to be intentional. Why is it that I'm dating someone? I tell them point blank, you know what? I feel like I want to get married. I just want to get married. Are you interested in getting married? If someone says no, then I'm like, cool. I'm not wasting my time. Because now there is a time that reaches and slipping around is, slipping around with 1,000 guys or 1,000 girls. What basically does it add on you? What value does it add, slipping around? Unless you're risking your life either to get diseases or you're wasting much of your money. So what does it really do? So now you have 5 girls and you're sleeping with all of them and you have to balance time. You have to call this one. It is a lot of chaos. Sometimes I sit and I'm like, what's wrong with these guys? Why? Because it is almost the same thing. Get one girl, settle down. Simple. But let me tell you, saying the things you want on your life, be like, guys, one day I will build. One day I will buy, I will build. So you start owning it. You start believing it. That's why. Have you heard that there are people who lie a lot that sometimes they start believing their own lies? Have you heard of that? That most of the people, they lie so much that they start believing the lies. So now, when you say good things about yourself and you're like, one day I will buy land, one day I'm going to build a house, you start believing it. And then if you have a friend and maybe they are selling their property, they will come and they tell you, you know what, you said you wanted to buy land, you wanted to own a house, we have this house here. Because you talked about it, you start in real life. This is what one of the guys said. He said that by the time you reach that stage, it means you are already there. If you imagine yourself in a car and driving yourself, yeah, when you start believing that I will buy a car, I'm going to start driving, you start believing it. Before you know it, you're going to get the means how to get that car. I'm telling you the truth, yeah. Christine Kagasha is saying, thanks a lot for the good message of love. Yeah. Just say things out. That's why when most of the people used to say you're not supposed to say out things, me, I say out everything. Me, I'm an open book. I talk about everything. And I just don't care. That some people say when you talk about something, then, it's called the evil eye. Yeah, they call it an evil eye. No. Me, I don't believe in such kind of things. When I want something, because you imagine, just like I've told you, right now, everything is getting out in my house. But because I have this strong belief, it will be well. It will be well. And I believe it. So given the way that I don't have the means, but I'm believing that we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We will sort it out. Definitely we will not die. Yeah. So definitely it will work out. So the topic for the guys who were not here earlier, we were like, you are watching everyone except yourself. You are watching everyone. You know everything about everyone. And you're not looking at yourself. You're not watching yourself. We have those friends who know everything about everyone. They are so informed about everything, but they don't know nothing about themselves. They don't know what is going on in their lives, but they are busy getting to know about every other thing that doesn't concern them, which does not even add value to them. That's why I'm not a fan of football. I'm not a fan, because at the end of the day, no. There are things that even the movies I watch, I'm intentional even with the movies I watch, because now I notice let me give you by the way, let me ask, what if you were told that you have only 24 hours to live? You're given 24 hours to live. What is it? How would you spend that time? Very good. When I started off with TikTok, I used to ask that question. But now I'm asking you, in case you're given 24 hours to live, what is it you're going to do differently? Let me tell you, if you think about that question carefully, and you give it just 5 minutes to think about it carefully, in case you're given 24 hours to live and then you're going to die, how will you spend those hours? How you will spend those hours, that's how you're supposed to spend it now. Why? Let me tell you. You would think that job, yeah, is the alpha and your omega, and you feel it is all you got. If they told you you have 24 hours, that's when you will notice that even the money you think is important is not that important. Do you know what will happen? Yeah. Do you know? It's good. Tell yourself. Do you know what will happen? This is what will happen when they tell you you have 24 hours to live. Then you die. Then you start observing. You're like, if you wanted to go abroad, you'll be like, no, that is now not the most important thing. Do you know what will happen? You'll start looking for the people you love. You would love to spend more time with them. Some of the people, if you're Christian, you would love to visit the pastors and going to church. If you're a Muslim or a Catholic, you would love to go in those churches or mosques. And then you love to see your people, you love to see your kids, you love to see your husband or your wife, you would love to see your mother, you'd love to see your father. Now things have changed. Instead of being like, hey, now I'm supposed to go abroad, I'm supposed to make money, I'm supposed to. Now they've told you only have 24 hours to live. Let me tell you, if that question really sinks in properly, now what you would do in the 24 hours is basically what you have to do now. I asked myself the same question one day, and I was like, what if I only had 24 hours to live? What is it I'll do differently? Do you know what came in my mind? I was like, I would love to spend that time with my son. I would love to spend that time with the people I like. I would like to talk to the people that I like. I would love maybe to pray a little bit more. I'm telling you, I noticed that even a job wasn't that important. I felt like, oh my goodness, living videos, nice videos that are inspiring, that add on value to people would be what I would love them to see. Do you know what I did? That is exactly what I did. As starting to be a single dad, I did not know how to raise a kid because it was my first kid. But when I thought about that carefully, I was like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I started doing this kind of videos because I could do a lot of different videos that don't add value. I started doing them. I told myself I'm going to be with my son 24 hours, 7 days, dedicated dad. I told myself, I would pray a little bit more. For the people who don't know, by the way, I pray a lot. I pray a lot. Like praying, I pray a lot. And I did exactly that. So then these other things that come in secondary, then they will come in. I don't care. How it happens, I don't care. Then I was like, I'm going to basically do those things. So be very careful. In case you ask yourself that question, you're given 24 hours to live. And that is what basically happens. Because there is no one who gets out of this life minus, having made a budget about it. Because we come in this life not on budget. It's not like our parents tell us that, we're going to be giving birth to you. No, we come not on budget and we live still again not on budget. So if you feel like money is the most important thing and you're out there hustling your ass off, let me tell you, you're going to do it. Yeah, it is going to work for you. But guess what? Before you know it, you're out of life. Just like how you didn't prepare to come in, it is the same way you're going to live. So how you live your life is very important. Very, very important. Because you wouldn't know. A car accident would happen. A building would fall. Stray shots, anything would happen. So imagine you wouldn't have spent your life the way you would have loved to. Ask yourself that question, by the way, every time. In case you're given 24 hours to live, what is it that you would do differently with your life? You could find, someone partying and drinking and sleeping around. But when they tell them they are having only 24 hours to live, they would go to church, they would go to mosques, and then they are there and then they are praying to God. So that means whatever you're doing, maybe it's not that important. You take it as to be that important, but maybe it's not that important. I'm telling you the truth. Imagine you're given 24 hours to live. What is it you would do different? And whatever you would do different, please just do that. There are people, You know, families have a lot of conflicts. They keep fighting. There are no stable families globally. These people keep fighting each other, and then, those small things. But if case you're given only those 24 hours, even the person you think, the relative you don't like, you would find yourself like, I would call them. So if you would do that in case you had 24 hours, just do that. Call them. Whatever disagreements maybe you had, remove them. But of course, back to our topic. Don't worry. I keep moving left, right, and center, here and there, because I feel like all these things are really important. I was saying you're watching everyone else except yourself. You're busy watching everyone else except yourself. It is important to also, create time for yourself. You will scroll from video to video, even videos that don't add value to you. I don't want to waste my time like that. If you're given those 24 hours that I've talked about, let me tell you, you will not watch that comedy skit. I'm telling you, you wouldn't. The things you think are important, the club will no longer be that important. Everything will change. Everything will change. Because now you notice how valuable life is. But because we live life in a way that we think we are going to live, we are immortal, yeah? We feel like, we have all the time to ourselves. Everyone who left, they didn't think at any one point they would live, yeah? They didn't think. Even Jesus himself came and left. Even Muhammad, he came and left, Those are some of the people who say, who are creators, whatever you call them. So even you, it is the same thing. So what you would do differently in the 24 hours in case they were the ones given to you, that's exactly what you should do with your life. I'm telling you, most of the things we think are important, they are not really that important. They are not that important. So it is very, very crucial to use your time carefully, intentionally. Because you would be like, would you watch that movie in case you're told you're having only 24 hours to live? You wouldn't watch that movie. You will basically do the things that you feel are important in life. And those things that you feel are important in life, those are the things you're supposed to do now. Because you don't know what is going to happen next. We are not immortal, anything can happen. Me, if Jesus, if God, if whoever decides to take me now, I will be cool. At least I'm doing the things I would love to do in case I had the 24 hours. Yes, at least my son, they would tell him, your dad decided to stay with you when you were 1 year, and then you grew, you made 4 years. He was there for you. That's a tick. He will know. Then at least whoever has taken me as the creator, he will know that I prayed a little bit more. Then at least I'll be like, I was doing the videos. I didn't get where I wanted to be, but at least I had started. So the things that I value, at least I'm doing them. In case I was given 24 hours, I'm doing the exact things that I would do when I'm having only 24 hours to live. Just like you came not on budget, you will live not on budget. There's no one who prepares themselves when that time is coming. That, now let me get prepared. Let me make my kids like this. Let me leave my parents like this. No. We have everyone who lives this life, basically, they die when they have a plan, man. They die when they have dreams. They die. Someone said that in case you want to see people with many and nice dreams, he said you go to a graveyard. Most of the people died with their dreams and they didn't come out to show and exhibit what they had because maybe they were scared of what people will say. It is really very bad, to live this life minus doing the things, minus using your potential. You imagine, maybe you were supposed to be an artist. Maybe you were supposed to do something and you kept postponing it. And then life is out and you've not done any of those things. At least be on the journey to doing them. Be on the journey to doing them, but not having done totally nothing. Yeah, if you felt like this video was nice and beautiful, you can go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification button. Yeah. making banquet list. Making banquet list. That is Christine Kagasha. So, guys, yeah. If you love the video and you think maybe whatever I was talking was making a little bit of sense, yeah, you can go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that each time I come through, you're among the first people to watch. We do 2 lives, by the way. I try my level best to do at least 2. I want to always do in the morning when my son is at school, then in the evening when he's sleeping, at night when he's sleeping, and maybe in the evening if I have time. I'm going to be making videos, short videos of 8-10 minutes. I'm going to be making many of them. At least I'm going to be making 10 of them per day. Yeah. I'm going to be making 10 videos per day. We do a live in the morning, we do at night, then during the day we make videos, recorded videos, 8 minutes and above. Yeah. We are going to be making 10 starting from today. Yeah. We are going to be doing that. So you see, at least I want to use my potential. Do you know, for the people who are watching here, I think you know Mose Radio. By the time he died, at least he had exploited himself. You know, there is nothing as beautiful as, have you seen people who die at 32 and basically they've done everything? It's like they knew. So they use their time properly. Are you using your time properly? What is it that you're doing with your life, man? What is it that you do with your life? Sorry, of course, the topic was you're watching everyone except yourself. That was the topic. That's why we were talking about. But of course, we deviated. When we are done with 1 hour talking about the topic, then I try to deviate and talk about different other things. So the 1 hour already ended. We've been here, by the way, if you didn't know, we've been here for 1 hour and 11 minutes. You can imagine. Because, you know, I said some of these things and I'm not creating content. No. I'm passing on information that I want, even when my son grows up, he would watch and he would feel proud of his dad. That I wouldn't have been there discussing girls and then discussing things that don't add value to him. At least every question he'll be having, I would have a video being made for him. You get the point? At least we'll have that video. Yes, that's how it has to be. So, the way you live your life, man, is important. You know, consume a little bit less than you produce. How it would have been is how it would have been, we would have been more of producers than consumers. But vis-a-vis is true. We are more of consumers than producers. You get? And that is really bad. That is really, really, really bad. Because at the end of the day, maybe that's why we are broke. Maybe that's why we are broke. And by the way, for all the guys who've been commenting, I love your messages. I love it when you comment. Because when you comment, then that means, okay, now someone is following. And thank you very much. You know, I should have given you some claps, yeah? I would have given you some hand clap, yeah? So guys, it is important. Think about those things I've talked about. Think about the reason why I felt like sharing much of these things is because I spent a lot of time alone, yeah? The time when I was with my son and it was just the 2 of us, when I noticed no one is coming to rescue me, it was really one of the hardest times. I was like, how will I make it? So I got a lot of time alone, minus being distracted, minus being in noise, that I realized these things. But most of us are into a lot of noise that we don't get time to watch ourselves, yeah? That's why I told you, broke people are in slums. It is hard. That's why it is a miracle to leave slums and make it. And when you go in those apartments and then those places are quiet, those estates are quiet because they think more, they think smarter. Noisy places, you cannot come out with a good idea when you're in a club. It is impossible. It is when you're hungry and when you are alone and everyone has abandoned you that you sit down and now you start having creative ideas. That is the only time when you are alone in silence. No one is talking to you. You're hungry and you feel everyone has abandoned you. Let me tell you, that is the right time you're going to come up with the best of ideas ever in life. That's why most of the people say good ideas come from toilets. When you're in a toilet and you're alone and live this generation where we go in the toilet with our phones. But they used to say the best ideas come from toilets, because the toilet, you're there quiet, alone. So you think. And when you're in toilet and then you think about something, you'll definitely do it. So we are in a lot of noise that we don't create time for ourselves to watch us, There is a lot of noise. So me, when there was no noise for 3 years, I got to understand a lot of things. So that's why I felt like, no, I should share these things with my friends. For those who are willing to pick, well, pick. For those who are not willing, live your life too. I told you time is the only just factor we have in life. May I call it an asset? Time is the only asset we have, and it is the only just factor or asset we've got in life. Why? All of us share it. We all have 24 hours. How we live it and how we spend it is basically our business. You cannot tell me we all have the same time. Yeah, we are all on social media, but there is one person who is producing more of content and he's getting out there and they are getting paid. And for you, you're still the same person with the same data, but you're consuming more. Those are two different people having the same time, having maybe the same opportunity, but how they are using it is what matters. Someone else would start, would suggest to learn a skill. Another one will decide to talk to a girl or a boy for an hour. Another one will choose, it is the only just factor. It is just because all of us share the same. It is not like, the Elon Musk have more time. No, we all have the same. But how we all use it depends solely on ourselves. So if you're going to spend 10 hours scrolling and watching other people, and you are the consumer, and then the 1% is the one producing the people that you watch, whom you will never meet, and they don't add value to you, and these people are making lots and lots of money. Right now they are saying social media is a money printing machine. That's what they are saying. Even Elon Musk is saying that. Right now, oh my goodness, right now, social media is a money printing machine right now. So, but remember, as I told you, there are two people. There are those consuming who watch whatever is going on, and then there are those who are producing it. Remember, you cannot produce and you don't earn out of it. Impossible. For those who produce, they're supposed to be rewarded. And for those who consume, of course, you're entertained, and that is all. How you spend your time is yours. At least, when we were growing up, they used to tell us a lot of things, yeah? Don't do this, don't do that. And some of the things I never used to understand. Not until now that I've grown up, and I'm like, wow, whatever they were saying, they were right. So now that I've also grown up, and I'm also trying to talk to some of, but again, it is up to you to take the information or not. It is solely about you. But at least to me, even when I'm done with this video, I will go in my bed, or I'm going to clean the house and wash the dishes. But deep down in me, I would have the satisfaction that, yes, at least I told someone something. It is just a satisfaction, and I'll be happy. But you know that this satisfaction you will get when you have to start on something and you don't do it? Do you know how bad you feel when the year is ending and you ask yourself, okay, what is it I've done for myself for the last year? What is it I've done for myself for the year 2026? You will be shocked like me, how I used to be shocked. The year passes by and I've done totally nothing with myself. I was like, no, this is unfair to me. I had to be like, no, let me leave this logarithm. No. So do you know what it means? The year ends. You've been working. Yes, you've been paid. Yes, you're paid. You're working. You're so busy. And the year ends. Okay, what is it you've done with your money? What is it you've done with your money? And basically, there is nothing to show. So do you mean that's how you're going to live for the next 10 years? You've been working so hard, and the only thing you've been working for is sleep. That is getting shelter, getting food, getting treatment and transportation. And you've lived that kind of life for how long? Can you imagine? You ask yourself, okay, I've been working, I've been getting paid. So what is there to show? Be like, you know what, I'm working and the year has ended. I started a business, I've done this, I've invested here. Good, beautiful. But most of us are working and there is nothing to show of it. That's why I just woke up early in the morning and I'm like, no, I'm not working again. I'm chilling. Because basically the same things I was getting in life, they are basically the same I'm still getting when I'm working, even when I'm not working. I was like, this is not adding up. This is not adding up. But much of these things we realize later in life. So thank God, Meow Bia, you will not get any video where I'm talking nonsense. Of course, once in a while we can be entertained, but basically everything we'll be talking about, it's adding value to us. Everything. I don't want to be so manipulative that I get from you and you get nothing from me. That's why I put my WhatsApp number over there, that we can talk about anything. We can talk about anything. If you feel like, no, I think I need to talk to Anderson. Yeah, that's why I put it up there. That is my WhatsApp number. It is intentional. It's not by mistake. Yeah. So, guys, I think I'm going to be calling it a wrap. I don't want to talk a lot. Yeah, of course, we've been here for 1 hour, 20 minutes. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night from wherever you've been watching and from. If you felt like the video was beautiful and nice, you can go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification button that each time I come through, at least you're among the first people to be watching, yeah? I remain Luze Andrew Anderson, and of course, this is BCM, Uganda. I'm excited. I feel I don't want to leave. I feel like I should be more of here because basically I'm going to be doing nothing, by the way. I'm going to just be chilling. So should I go? Should I stay for a minute? Should I stay for a minute or should I go? Or should we make 2 hours? What should we do? Because me, by the way, I can talk, yeah? My dream, I want to do a video that goes for 24 hours. But of course, we'll be having some activities in between. But I want to do a live of 24 hours. And if that live goes well, then we'll double it. If it goes well, then we'll double it. But the power has just gone right now. I had the solar turn on. So power is off. Power is off. And what is the date today? Today is 5th. Yeah. Today is 5th. Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, it was beautiful having you. Since I'm not seeing your reaction, no one is telling me to stay, neither to go. So I think I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to excuse myself. But think about what I've told you. In case you're given 24 hours to live, what is it you're going to do different with your life? I want you to basically stay with that. In case you're given 24 hours to live, what is it you're going to do different with your life? Whatever you're going to do different in your life is basically the thing you're supposed to do right now. Just like how you came into this world not on plan, it is basically the same way you're going to live not on plan. Yeah. Think about it. You came not on plan, you don't know how it happened. And just the same way you will live not on plan and not aware, then you'll just live. So whatever you could do in case you're given 24 hours to live, right now ask yourself that question. In case I'm given 24 hours to live, what is it I'll do differently? You will notice that most of the things that you take as important are really not important at all. And maybe the things you think are not important, maybe they are the important ones. It was beautiful chatting with you. Thank you very much for everyone who was commenting, who commented. Let me see if some of you liked the video. Let me check. For those who like the video, let me see who liked the video. For the people who like the video, I want to say thank you very much. I don't, guys, take you for granted, yeah? I don't take you for granted. So until when we catch up, bless ya. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.